Hi, welcome to Axon's latest podcast. I'm Tim Mears.
I'm Rob Burrell. Hi.
Hi, today we're going to talk about business backup. Should you have it? Do you have it? Why should you have it? So, Rob, business, should they be backing up their data?
Yeah, they should. So most organisations are obviously on in the Microsoft clouds. They're using Office 365, and that data should be being backed up, be it the individual's OneDrive or the business's SharePoint data.
But if I'm in Office 365, doesn't the data get backed up automatically?
No, it doesn't. It's a common misconception that Microsoft back up your data if it's in their cloud. So sure, it's in the Microsoft cloud, it's in a Microsoft data center, but they don't actually back it up.
So what you're saying is I shouldn't be relying on that fact that basically that it's automatically being backed up.
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of organisations think the data's safe, and yeah, it is safe, but there's no guarantee that there's not going to be data loss. And if there is data loss, of course, there's no guarantee that Microsoft are going to get it back for the organisation. So there is an SLA from Microsoft, but there's no guarantee that they will recover the data, and also there's no financial payouts on that SLA.
Right. So what can I do about it? Is there any alternatives, or do you have to?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. No. So data definitely needs to be backed up. We offer a backup managed service, so the customer has to do nothing. We take care of all of it. So we'll back up everything in Office 365. So that's all OneDrive data, SharePoint data, right down to Teams messaging. Everything's backed up. It's backed up multiple times a day. So if data is lost, then it can be recovered in real time.
So I suppose I always think of backup as a bit of a insurance policy, for the want of a better description.
Yeah.
You know, there is obviously an added cost of backing up the data. So what are the reasons why I should back it up?
I think in the old days it did used to be seen as an insurance policy, and of course when servers were on premise and organisations, IT managers were backing up their own data, then that was their own sort of responsibility. In terms of the insurance policy nowadays, it's as we've discussed, the data is in a data centre, but if you lose data, you've got to do something about it. But I think the conversations that I'm having, they're not so much about backup as such, they're more about the cyber security threats as well. So if an organisation is hit with ransomware, where the hacker gets hold of their data, then how does that organisation get the data back? Well, they can't unless they've got a real-time backup.
So is it possible to get hit by ransomware even though the data is in the Microsoft data center, so it's in my cloud Office M365 environment? You can still get hit with that ransomware?
So Office 365 data is not subject to ransomware, but as I say, if there were, like in the old days, if there's still servers on site, then a ransomware attack can occur.
Right.
And it's impossible to get that data back unless it's been backed up.
Okay.
And that of course then causes damage to reputation of that small business. Small businesses go out of business due to data loss, ransomware attacks. So that's something to think about. But obviously the core message around Office 365 backup is more around the actual real-time backup of that data, so that if a user deletes or loses data, then we can get it back.
And how quickly can you get that back?
In real time. So with our service, we can obviously restore data. The backups are multiple times a day, as I said. And also there's a bot, so there's AI is built into the service. So there's a bot where the actual end user or the IT manager in our customer can go and ask the bot to go and find a file and restore it. So it's automation is in place.
Is this quite an expensive expensive solution, I suppose.
It's not compared to the costs of data loss. We're talking pounds per user, so it's not an expensive solution, and it's really important to have your data backed up.
Great. Well, thanks for your time. It's good talking to you.
Thank you.
Okay. So that was our latest podcast around data and backup with Rob Burrell. Thanks.
Thanks a lot.